Hi there, I'm Jen Goodwin,
Hi there, I'm Dexter Detmers.
and we are here today with a very, very special guest, Paresh Vadiv. See, I can't even say it right.
Knew it.
Vidavia.
Vidavia, there you go.
Vidavia, I
Yeah.
have it. Don't make fun of me. I think I might be
I
dyslexic.
think most
maybe.
people just
That's
know
my
it's
thing.
Paresh.
Just so everybody knows, we spent the first 2 minutes before this podcast talking about how Jen's going to pronounce his last name.
I can't do it whenever I'm under pressure. And it's Paresh. He doesn't even have a last name in our world.
Paresh Vidavia.
Vidavia. It's so beautiful. Well, thank you for joining us today
This is exciting,
in the
yeah.
Windy City. And, you know, I don't know if you know this, Dex, but Paresh doesn't really do podcasts. So I feel very incredibly honored that you're here with us.
I've been asked many times, and this is an honor to do it with you.
Yeah,
guys.
I'm happy to see you. And early in the morning, did you stay out late last night?
About 1 o'clock, not too bad.
No, that's actually early for you. But you
It's a
look
little
good.
jet lagged from being in Portugal.
That's right.
Lisbon. Flew back on Friday.
And happy 9th anniversary?
Yeah, wedding anniversary,
Yeah.
9 years.
Crazy.
April 15th. It was a big-ass wedding in Mexico.
It was, and I was supposed to go, but then we had the girls. They were little
You can
then.
come for the 10-year reunion next year.
That's true. I
We
could
want
do
to
that.
so we'll see.
I love that. Amazing. Well, thanks for joining us. It's a big year for you. 20 years in affiliate marketing.
Yeah, 2006, May.
So,
started Ice.com.
Paresh Connect started 20 years ago?
I would say that started when Sonny and I partnered up and started OPM Pros.
Okay. And that was
Around
what,
that time.
15 years ago?
2009.
Okay.
Yeah. so
That's
3
right. That's
years
right. When I
after.
got into the industry, that's when you had just started Paresh Connect when I came into the
Yeah,
industry.
It's funny
Well,
how that all happened. But
For
yeah.
those that don't know anything about Paresh, do you want to give us like the...
That's fair. But do we
most
think that?
Most people know Paresh
Who
very
doesn't?
well.
If you don't know Paresh, you're not cool.
But for those that don't know anything about you, what's,
Yeah. Give us your elevator pitch.
I fell across affiliate marketing, had no clue what it was. Applied for some jobs. Ice.com and Diamond.com was looking for an affiliate manager. I did computer engineering in Montreal. Used
No
to run a lot
way.
of bars and nightclubs.
I always thought you were just a club promoter. You did. I had no idea that
Well,
that's what you
if you're
did.
Indian, you have only two
You have to.
options.
That's fair. That's true.
Doctor, engineer.
Mom and Dad were like, "Nice try. Club promoter's not going to work for us."
Yeah, they're always busting my balls about doing that stuff. But yeah, my parents had a hotel business. They sold that. I had to look for a job. Came across this job for Ice.com. Had no clue what it was. As an affiliate manager, read a bunch of postings. I sent the girl, the hiring manager. I was like, listen, just check me out. I'll bring a bunch of nightclub promoting flyers. Like, I can do
Wow.
this. Yeah, and a couple interviews later, it's a funny story, which people don't know, but I thought I got the job because she called me on the Friday, and she's like, yeah, this is the starting salary, blah, blah, blah. I was like, all right, I'm excited.
Perfect.
And so I told a bunch of friends that I'm, like, retiring from the nightclub business, and there's, like, 40 of us downtown St. Catherine, like, having drinks. This is, like, a Friday in the summer, and I see the guy who was, like, the big boss came in from Philadelphia to interview me that morning. And I see him walking on the street. And so I just went up to him and I was like, hey, sir, like, so good meeting you this morning. I'm super excited to start working with you guys. I got a call from Sari, and I'm here with my friends. Like, I can't wait to start working with you guys. Anyways, I find out this afterwards. He then calls her and he's like, I just met the brown guy. And he thinks he's got the job, but I thought we decided we're going with the other direction.
No way.
She's like, well, did you get a chance to call the other guy to tell him you got the job? And she's like, no, not yet. It was too late on Friday. I'm going to do it Monday. So, well, I think we got to give this guy the job. He
No.
thinks he's going to work for us.
No
So I was actually not even supposed to.
way.
Wow.
That is such. How did you? After
Yeah.
my humiliating story, you never told me that.
You know what? It's crazy because had I not gotten up and seen him and just
You
gone
would.
and
You
just
wouldn't have
been
gone
me,
into Ice.com.
Yeah. And
But
I
you would have
just-
been looking for a new job because you already
Yeah.
you'd already canceled yourself as a club promoter.
It's so crazy.
That's
but, everything
hysterical.
happens
That
for a
is-
reason, yeah.
The ultimate
And so,
reason to be overly confident in yourself.
you know
right
what?
there.
Just yeah,
Hey kids, if
just
you're
gotta
looking
have,
for a
like-
job, just act like you got it.
Yeah, I
yeah.
think you got it. Yeah,
Yeah,
exactly.
so that was great. and
Because
that was in
people do hate
2006.
giving people bad news.
For sure.
So if they're like, oh my God, this guy's like convinced that he has the job. He's already
Actually,
like coming up to the CEO.
Dexter, you and I for sure would have done that. Like if we had interviewed and then we had two candidates, but the one did what you did,
Yeah.
you and I 100%
Yeah,
would have
because
done that.
because you're like, oh my God,
Like,
we're gonna
he
have
wants
to bring
it.
this guy down. Like
Yeah.
he just quit his job as a club promoter. Like
Celebrating with all his friends, his last
Right.
hurrah,
So
like,
excited they took
so
him
you
out.
make it really hard for them to say no to you,
they
basically.
gave me a
It's
chance.
actually a good strategy.
That is crazy.
Yeah, so that was Ice.com, Diamond.com, ran their affiliate business.
And that's when you and I met, and we did work together because I was at Brad's Deals. I had just started,
Yep.
and you were selling the jewelry.
Yep.
You were all about it.
And so Ice.com was selling jewelry online?
Yeah,
That
they're
was
an
the-
online retailer, and both Ice.com was on Rakuten or Linkshare at
Yep.
that time, and Diamond.com was on CJ. So it was
Yep.
one of those unique situations where I got to travel a lot to many conferences.
Which makes sense why you were eventually, Paresh Connect was
Yeah.
born.
It's crazy. Yeah, PC started 2009. Just, the industry, the events that were happening, they were just like, people flew in the night before. Back then, there wasn't like an app where you could connect with people. So
Right.
it was like, really, you had to
It was the Stone Age.
you had to sort of send emails and be like, hey, listen, let's meet here or there. And, running all these nightclubs, I just went to the local bars and restaurants, said, hey, listen, like,
This is what
a
we're
bunch
going to
of
do.
corporate people coming in. We just want a place to go hang out, have drinks. I don't want to pay cover, all the nightclub lingo. And then people just connected, and it made their lives easier the next few days at the conference.
Well, you
they got to meet
bring people together. That's always been who you are, right? You bring everyone together and you give them a venue. Sure, there's sometimes you can't do business in a club. I'll say that.
Sure.
Mikey, yeah, can, but
Yeah.
but I cannot. But I do like it's been fun to watch you over these last 17 years that I've been in here. Watch you and how much it's evolved. Yeah. But I always love like the events like Rakuten events or CJ where I can hear everyone. I'm older now.
Yeah, most of our events are at one of those bars, but the one in Vegas
Well, I get it.
is in a nightclub.
Correct.
Would
I
you say a
understand that.
lot of that comes from your club promoter backgrounds? Like, so how long were you a club promoter for?
He still is,
Ice.com?
Dex.
Yeah, oh my God. It's 18 and over to go out in Montreal, and I
Yeah.
think I started probably when I was 19.
I was just going to say at 15 he was out there hustling.
Yeah, and it's funny how even this promoting stuff came on. I was just doing engineering, bringing a lot of people to the bars, and the owner's like, hey, listen, I see you coming here every weekend with like a lot of people. Do you want to promote?
They're
And I was
tallying
like,
up how much you were driving them in revenue every
yeah,
night.
they're like, do you want to be a promoter? I was like, well, what does that mean? Like, I'll give you free alcohol, and I'll get you a guest list, and just continue what you're doing. So then I started
That's amazing.
making some money from just bringing people together. And
That's so
And
interesting.
was it like certain clubs that you'd found in? It was all in Ottawa then. Was where it
in
started?
Montreal, yeah.
Oh,
Yeah,
Montreal.
a lot of clubs in Montreal. Yeah, and Canal and I were partners.
I
running
know.
the nightclub
That's
business.
right.
Yeah, we're the biggest promoters. We bring like thousands, tens of thousands of people into Montreal.
Which is that unusual? Because I feel like in Chicago, it's mostly women now. Or maybe what it is the club promoter's a dude. And then he makes sure to get a woman to come in and bring all of her friends. And then they get the free drinks and the little like VIP
Yeah,
areas.
I think it's different. Like, the clubs want the women to come in.
Well, they feel like the women will then bring the men, right?
Exactly, yeah. Yeah, but, every club
But you and
needs some
Kunal are
promoters.
handsome devils, so I get why they
we
picked
had
you
some
guys.
great times promoting a lot of these events. And so, yeah, I think, to your point, like, just bring people together and noticing the conferences, we're not doing stuff the night before. It's like, hey, there's an opportunity for people to get together, and that sort of just continued, and now it's called Paresh Connect, and we rent out venues. And
Hence
we
why
bring
I don't know how to
together.
pronounce your last name, maybe? I only know him as Presh.
So, and you started that in 2009. Was that when you were at Ice.com?
I left Ice.com. 09 is when Sunny and I partnered up, and we started OPM Pros.
Crazy.
And our first client was Beyond the Rack.
I remember
retailer
Beyond the
from
Rack, yeah.
Montreal. And Yona, who was the founder of Beyond the Rack, was my boss at Ice.com.
That's so crazy.
And then our second client was a company called Ice Jerseys.
I remember this.
And so they're like, oh, we're like, okay, you know what? Ice Jerseys, why don't we get jerseys? And so Sunny and I,
It was born. You guys,
Got
the
the
jersey
jerseys.
industry was born. And I said to Paresh, if I ever work with you, you will be making me a jersey dress. There will be no Jen Goodwin in
there
a
was
jersey.
times where we used to have like 10, 15 of us at the conferences all in
I
Team
remember
Canada,
very
Montreal
well
Canadian
Bobby,
jerseys, yeah.
seeing Bobby Bryson
Yeah.
in a
Bobby, oh,
jersey
Bobby.
that rocked my world.
Yeah, we had some U.S. employees, Genevieve Shaw,
Genevieve,
and,
yeah.
Bobby, and
Genevieve could pull it off easily.
I still get that question every time I go to conferences. That's why
You
figured
have
I'd
the
throw
jersey.
A throwback today.
20 years. You have to.
20
You have your
years.
hat, his signature hat. Will you please show the camera your beautiful children?
Wow.
And in
So
it,
most of
every
my
hat,
hats-
almost all of them, right?
Yeah, have the family, and so if you guys can see it.
3 little kids. And how old are they now?
And Maya's 8, Kaya's 5, and Ria's gonna be 4 in July.
His life has changed.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Is it harder to
It's
go
tough
and do all
'cause
this
I travel
stuff?
quite a
yeah.
bit, but we do a lot with the family. Family's
do.
super important for us.
Your
Pooch, my
wife's
wife,
amazing.
Yeah, she's she holds down the fort when I'm gone.
Did she
we
throw them at
travel.
you when you get back?
She's like, yeah, they're all yours now.
She's like, sleep on the plane because I'm out. When you get home, I'm gone.
Yeah, we have help. You know, my
Yeah.
brother helps. My parents are around the corner.
Yeah.
Her parents are there. But you need help.
For sure.
And, you know, as much as
Especially with 3
traveling that
little
I do.
ones.
But, yeah, the family's great, and it's gone by so fast. And like I said, we just celebrated our 9-year anniversary, so it's hasn't been a minute to stop.
It's crazy.
Yeah, next
I love
year will
that.
be our 10 years. My wife's turning 40.
Oh,
My
so that's a
dad's
big
turning
year.
80. Her dad's turning
Oh, this might have to just be a massive Paresh
70.
Connect of all things.
Yeah, and I definitely want to do a reunion.
You should.
Yeah.
That makes sense.
So,
So I wanted to ask you, since you're hitting your 20, or you're on your 20 year,
yeah.
what would the Paresh of 2006 tell the Paresh of 2026? Is there anything like, or vice versa? Like,
Yeah.
you've come so far in these 20 years. Like, how different are you from 2006 to now?
I think not much has changed. You know, it's like the drive.
And yet everything has changed.
For sure. The industry's evolved so much. But I think from where I see it, like the basic stuff, the hustle, showing up, having those meetings, the follow-ups, just trying to be at these events and do as much as you can, right?
Yeah.
You're usually the first one up, the last one out.
I know. I still can't comprehend that because I don't sleep. But if I was hustling like that, I hustle.
Yeah.
But if I was hustling all night long and then you're like, hey, be there at 7, what you would get wouldn't be great.
I think it's all the years of running nightclubs.
Yeah.
It
You've
gets
got
you to,
you've got
like,
it down.
You know, and so, yeah, just be good to others and help people and just, make sure you're there to connect the dots. But, yeah, I think it's putting the time and the effort.
Yeah.
Before the conference, during the conference, after the conference. And I tell people, like, it's so important to be here, but you got to make sure you're here and doing the right things while you're here.
Totally. Do you feel like the industry has changed? I mean, obviously, we all know the industry has changed a ton. AI is here. We all know that. But I've noticed in the last few years that I don't get the same responses I used to get. I don't feel like as many, like, people, there's hustlers in this industry,
Yeah.
100%. But back in the day, I felt like that's all we did was hustle. I feel like it feels like there's been a shift. Maybe it's COVID. I don't know. Have you noticed that? Like,
I hear from the publishers.
your team, that's what I wanted to ask you.
I hear from the publishers, actually, that they don't get the responses
No,
like
not
they
at all.
used to.
Yeah.
I don't know if it's a thing of COVID where people are working from home.
Started to
you know.
focus, like, we all know, right? 80 to 90% of revenue is your top 50 to 100 accounts.
Yeah.
So I get that there's bandwidth issues now, right? And I think hence why Dex and I started this company was we saw that things were shifting and changing, and we wanted to make sure that we could be an extension to help people
Yeah.
as teams are getting smaller. There's no more teams of 70 like at Honey or Capital One. Like, everyone's having to do more now with less.
Yeah. I think people have to manage their time.
Yep.
Right? And so the responses, I mean, you have to put time and effort into it.
Right.
It's important to respond. And if it doesn't, if the brand doesn't, like, it's not, your target focus, just respond back and be like, hey, listen, like, it doesn't meet our needs or the volume is just not there. Like, we'd love to do stuff with you, but, like, it's just not the right time.
Yep.
And I think most people understand, but it's the non-responsive.
That's where
Like
I
getting
struggle.
ghosted,
Because to me, it's not hard to just respond with, really appreciate it. Right now, we're really focused on our top 100. We don't have time for new partners.
Yep.
Yeah.
Do you think part of it is just like the volume of requests that these affiliate teams have gone up, or do you think it's more just like a generational thing where, like, the next generation of affiliate managers is just generally less responsive? Like, what do you think is, like, playing into that?
I don't know. It's hard to tell, right? I think it just comes down to someone's personality.
Right.
If the person is hungry and is driven by success, then they'll do what they need to do. So I think it's just important finding the right people that have the right characteristics to be a good affiliate manager. It's not like what we do is not robotic.
No.
It's relationships.
100%.
Right? Pick up the phone, talk to someone, see how you can help them. I don't know. It's a combination of a lot of things, I'm sure.
Yep.
There's obviously a lot more, it's just that shop talk. And there was so many people from the affiliate space there this year.
I know. That's what I heard.
So I've
we
been
should
going
probably
for
be there.
9 years, right? And earlier on, you see all the execs there.
Right.
But now you're seeing people that our teams are working on the day-to-day stuff.
And they're all showing up
And
now.
so they're showing up.
So, and I do feel like over the last 5 years, obviously after COVID started and happened, that's where we all saw this shift of right? We all knew it was 30% affiliate was, it was online 30%. And then it was 100% online. And so I do feel that shift happened. We went to Shop Talk. When we were there, we were representing Honey PayPal, but we were very few people that were affiliate.
Yeah,
it was
it's
mostly
still very
exactly.
few people, but there's a lot more,
Right.
right? Mike
Yeah.
was there from Martech. There was
Yep.
a
Oh,
bunch
yeah.
of publishers
Well,
there. So
I think the biggest thing is because more teams are remote and more stuff is happening virtually. There's a renewed importance on in-person FaceTime
Yeah.
at these conferences, right? So I think a lot of the publishers and advertisers see it as a really good opportunity to network. And I also think, like, because so much is happening virtually, networking becomes really difficult if you're not going to conferences, right? Like, it used to be when you're in an office, you can rub shoulders with people. Maybe there's another company down the street that's doing something similar. If you live in a major city, like, it's easy to kind of like rub shoulders with some of these people. It's a lot harder now with it being 100% virtual.
Yeah.
So you have to
Right.
learn to create your own networking opportunities. And I think people that work at a lot of companies and affiliate are realizing, like, we have to network a lot harder. And also, like, think about it, right? Like, if AI is making your life, the idea is AI makes your life easier. And makes like doing a lot of manual work faster. That opens up more free time for things.
Right.
And what is the most important thing that people sort of conceded in the past because they were too busy doing work was probably networking.
100%.
And now because you can have AI doing your emails, you can have it doing your data analysis, you can have it doing all sorts of things for you. You can spend a lot more time building relationships.
It's important.
So, yeah, it's super important. And so I think, like, you have realized this from the very beginning, which is, look, the industry might change. In affiliate, we've seen lots of changes since 2009, but one thing hasn't changed, and that is the importance of relationships within the industry, right? And that's always been your core focus, is building relationships with people.
When Sonny and I started OPM Pros back in 2009, I mean, we're all in Montreal, was in office, you
Right.
know, and we had great atmosphere. We used to do a lot of things with the teams, bring a lot of people to the events, but like it was really building these relationships.
Right.
People used to come see us in Montreal. We'd go see people at their offices, and then in 2019 we partnered up with Gen 3. So 10 years
That's right.
after Sonny had started, we partnered up, and then COVID happened.
That's right.
Right, 2020, like COVID happened, and so everything went on hold.
So
You know,
crazy.
do you remember the times we used to send those Christmas cards?
Always. Yeah. My coloring book, like so
Yeah,
many amazing
yeah.
things. It was a blast.
And Mikey helped us a lot with some
Yeah.
of those things. But we used to love, you know, signing these cards, and the team would be involved, and we'd send, you know, personalized gifts to folks,
Always.
and it was that relationship stuff.
Yeah.
Yep.
And
which
it did
really-
set you guys apart from the get-go. And I think now that Dex and I have experienced opening up an agency
I'm so
in
proud
the
of you
struggle
guys.
of life, I think back to you and Sunny, and like, what do you like when you look back and reflect on all of like these last 20 years and like doing what you did with Sunny? Like, how do you feel? Like, what is it? How does it
It's
feel?
so rewarding.
Yeah.
You need to go back, and like I remember the first time we spent some money and we're like, let's get a table. But we're like, we don't want to give the same stuff that everyone else gives, like
Right.
the pens and the squishy balls. And so we made a music CD.
I remember.
You
right.
made a mixtape?
Yes.
mixtape.
He had a
It was a
mixtape.
CD.
It was a CD.
And
It was amazing.
People loved it because
Yeah.
every few songs, it was like, shout out to OPM Pros. Canadians do it better.
Wait, so you'd
And-
actually like hand curate it? It was like,
Yes.
Oh, yeah. My brother was
Yes,
a
they
DJ.
would
Young
hand it out.
Jeezy,
My
like-
brother would get these records from the record artists way
So
before. And so he'd make these CDs. We'd have one of our friends who's like a
Graphic designer
a
or whatever.
host,
Yeah.
you know,
Oh, yeah.
mention us every few seconds. But like people love that CD. And we did, I think, 4, 5, 6 of them, different editions. And
Yep.
so I look
Isn't that
back and
hysterical?
That's so funny. So
It was
it's
great.
Like, it's like now volume 20 instead.
Yes.
It's like OPM volume 6.
Yes.
it's crazy. I gotta get that CD and put it on like
do.
Spotify or something.
You
But
do.
those
You
are-
absolutely do, especially
People
like
remember the old times, the jerseys, the
100%.
the events. You know, obviously our Paresh Connect events. People remember those. I think there's a bunch of people that are couples and married from meeting each other at the Paresh
Which is
Connect,
pretty
which
awesome.
is kind of cool, right?
Yeah,
Like, they've
absolutely.
met people from our events, and so yeah, it's just about bringing people together. And so I look back, and it's been an awesome journey, you know. And now, like, look, we're part of Gen 3. We acquired 3 more agencies.
Wow.
So now we're close to like 200 people working with a couple hundred brands.
It's amazing.
But the fundamental thing is relationships, right?
Yep.
AI can replace a lot of things,
Cannot
but
replace
getting that
relationships.
personal relationship and building something meaningful
Yeah.
is important.
Yep.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
I think that is the exciting part about what we do, and hence why I think we've all stayed in it for so long.
Yeah.
Is
I tell people it's like the mob. Can't
it
get
is
out.
it's a fun mob though.
a fun
We're
mob.
not we don't kill people, at least that we know of.
Oh no, we haven't gone
yeah.
into that part yet with Paresh. Paresh, have you killed anyone? No.
I remember hearing your podcast.
Well, I didn't kill anyone.
I think no, and
No, not yet.
no,
Yeah,
no. It's
yet.
like there's just I think in one of your other podcasts, like a story that people don't know, kind of thing, right?
Yeah, do tell.
And it's crazy. I mean, I grew up playing Monopoly.
Really?
With friends.
You're
like,
a
a lot.
Monopoly guy. I
I
love
used to love
Monopoly.
Monopoly. And a friend calls me up and is like, "Hey, listen, there's like this world competition for Monopoly happening in Montreal." I was like, "Dude, I'm
No.
gonna go."
Way.
So I went to the tournament. Hundreds of
How
people.
old were you?
Man, I was in
20s?
I was in Siege University.
Oh, okay. So like
So,
maybe 19, 20,
Yeah,
21.
and eventually I ended up advancing, and I was like on the final table of 8 of us.
That's crazy.
Wow.
And then-
wait, how many people were in this
It was
competition?
like hundreds.
Wow.
Hundreds, yeah. And so I ended up on the final table. Then there was just 2 of us left. There was a girl that won from 8 years ago. But
And you?
everyone at the table was like the guy that won from 4 years ago.
Right. And then
18
you're
years.
this new guy. Did
Yeah.
you have your jersey
the
on?
final table, that was so it's 8 players and you're all playing in the same game, but people are getting
Yeah.
basically pushed
So,
out.
right, if you're out, you're out. And so
Right.
it ended up being 2 of us. And whoever won that would represent Canada.
That's super cool.
And then you'd go to the UK and you'd win like, X amount of money if you won. But I ended up second.
That's amazing. Did you get anything in second place? Did you get anything?
I got a lot of Hasbro's gifts and all that
Nice.
stuff. Yeah, I'm on the Montreal newspaper. Journal
That is
Montreal,
super
yeah.
cool.
So
Yeah, so I
Paresh
love
is
Mo-
a professional
He's a professional Monopoly player.
Hey, listen, Monopoly is all about like wheeling and
It
dealing.
is
That's what I was
wheeling
gonna
and
ask.
dealing.
Like,
It
what
makes
is the
sense.
secret
Yeah.
to Monopoly, do you think?
Just trying to get in people's heads
Do
and
you
stop deals
did
from
this
happening.
start? Did you do Monopoly before you said, I'm also very good. I'm a good gambler too. I love my chips. Do you think Monopoly was your starting point?
I don't know.
Because
man,
you are
yeah,
a good
Monopoly.
gambler. I mean, if you can be a good gambler, he's
Yeah.
pretty good.
I mean,
well,
gambling
what,
is
what
luck.
kind of
like,
what kind of
think
games
about
Lot
do
of
you like to
luck.
play in Vegas and stuff? You like to play like Texas.
Don't you do, like,
blackjack,
Roulette?
roulette.
Yeah, I've
Okay.
always
You
seen you
know?
on the
So there's
roulette
a-
table.
Well, Paresh and I had a pretty good run at the roulette
I
table.
remember you saying that.
ages ago.
Yeah.
like back in like 2020.
Roulette is fun, like it's
Yeah.
it's fun. You have your wins, your highs, and your lows.
yeah, of course.
But Affiliate Summit just a few months ago was with Amanda and a bunch of people at the table.
Was Genevieve there?
Genevieve was she there? I can't remember.
I feel like she always is with you.
Yeah.
She
And,
loves to gamble
we
too.
had a good run.
Yeah,
We had a good run.
that's
Yeah.
hysterical.
But yeah, I think Monopoly. Yeah, it's just
That is a
it's
really
like
cool
wheeling
story.
and dealing and like just
Right. Constantly making deals.
watching what's happening, making deals, stopping some deals from happening, trying to get into people's heads, and it was fun.
Are you normally the banker? Let me ask you this. Okay, in the professional Monopoly tournament,
Yeah.
do they have a external banker or just one of the?
external banker, yeah.
Yeah.
It's
It's
legit.
like
There's
you're literally you've got a banker
there's
right
like-
Because
there.
you can't have a
judges
player
and stuff.
being the banker.
No,
That
no,
would
no.
be-
There's
right?
like
They're slipping
3,
hundreds
4 judges,
themselves.
and the one thing like
So they're
most-
watching you. You've got people like paying attention to see if
Yeah.
there's any cheaters.
Yeah, and I actually would have won that had I not known. I didn't know this one rule though.
What was the
and I
rule?
think most people don't know this rule. And so I had properties and houses on Oriental and Connecticut,
Yeah.
right?
Oh my God, I love
And so like I
this.
had a lot of money.
Yeah.
So I wanted to build, get those houses into
Those
hotels,
hotels,
Yeah.
and then put those houses on other properties.
Right.
On my turn.
Right.
And so I went ahead and I, got a bunch of houses into the bank now. I put hotels. And there I am like, oh, I want to buy these houses on this property. Well, as soon as, and all 32 houses were on the property.
Right.
So as soon as some came back on, the opponent can also want
Buy.
those properties.
She bought them underneath from
and
underneath
so
you.
so it goes on auction. And so she started betting or paying a lot more for these houses than technically the face value of these houses.
Yep.
And so she started putting on Park Place, Boardwalk, Pennsylvania.
She killed you. She destroyed
And I
you,
was like,
and it was
wait,
too
So I
late.
didn't even realize
So,
that. So if you
do not
upgrade
do not
houses,
sell your houses if you are in a situation where there's no
Stay.
more houses.
Just stay.
Keep it
keep it.
Interesting.
because as soon as they go in the bank, either side, even if it's your turn,
So they could buy them for $1
Yeah.
because they're up
they
for
can buy.
auction. And
Yeah,
if
so
there's
I
only
was
2
trying to
players,
spend the properties that I wanted to put on was New York and St. James, which is $100, right?
Right.
And so now she's willing to spend 125, 150, 200. I was like, this doesn't make sense. And so she, ended up putting houses on the other
So
properties.
look, you
and
still
then,
remember the play-by-play.
He
every-
does. No. Like it's
Who's
very
what?
clear. I'm locked in, and I love Monopoly. I never thought about it like that.
Yeah.
Like that's so fun. That's so cool.
Yeah.
So he's a wheeler and dealer since child,
Wheeler
like
and
since
dealer
birth.
since day one.
He's like, hey, you
Club
know what, Mom and Dad, I'm going to go
promoting,
win this Monopoly.
hustling.
That is super cool.
Yeah, there's lots of stories. Yeah.
I love that. So I feel like you have said this, but because we've talked a lot about how much the industry is changing and how there is a kind of a lack, what can you give like the newer generation that's coming into this space that maybe doesn't get the old school stuff? Like, what advice would you give them?
Yeah, I think it's just follow up, show up, like put in time,
Hustle,
learn it. You know,
you are a hustler. You
it's
always
not
have
rocket
been.
science. Like you don't
It's
have
not.
to be a doctor and engineer.
Nope.
But you gotta want to learn it.
And you
see
want to
how
show
can-
up.
You
have
want
to
to show up. You know, really, how can you help if you're an affiliate manager at a brand? You know, like there's so many partners you can talk to.
Absolutely.
You know? There's just like, maybe a lot of them drive most of the sales, but as we know, like it's last click, right? So it's the content sites and
Right.
the influencers and the bloggers that don't always get credit,
No.
right? Because it's the loyalty sites or the coupon sites that sometimes get credit. But I think just putting the effort,
Right.
you know, like putting the time, following up, and it's it's different when it's your own thing, but emails come at all throughout the day.
And night.
My wife tells me, like, did you have to answer that email?
Isn't
like,
that
I
funny?
just-
I'm glad she said that, because my husband, like, I used to, at the dinner table, he would say to me, do you really think if you are eating dinner, they can't wait? And there's a part of my brain that was like, no, they can't. And then I realized, like, of course, when you
Yeah,
have children, you start to go,
Well, I
wait.
will say Paresh is very responsive though.
Always.
Like very responsive.
And he's not using AI to respond to
No.
his emails.
No.
That's what I do.
Well, right, but you don't love emails. He's more of an engineer brain. I love personalizing my emails, so I probably would never fully use AI. I might run it through because I have a tendency to be long-winded. I could do that, but like, no, like
Yeah,
you
gotta
all day
be,
long.
I mean, I don't know if AI can replace the personal stuff.
It can't, and we all
Right.
know each other, right?
Yeah.
So I can tell. Although with Dexter, different, right? You've always you sometimes can write like a robot. You'll be fine.
Yeah. I know. Well, so I mean, this is my thought on it, right? Is like there's going to be certain aspects of the industry that'll get commoditized over
Sure.
time.
Change is always
But-
going to
but-
be happening.
But that's always been the case. But you want to think about strengthening the skills that can't be commoditized, and I think still, like I think what we were talking earlier about, more people going to conferences, like the one thing that is going to be very difficult for AI to commoditize is relationships.
Right.
Like
Cannot.
I can't
You
see
can't.
a way where how it could.
No.
And as long as there's certain aspects of the industry that are still based on relationships, then that will probably become one of the most important things.
Yeah.
I think in
the
20
industry.
years, the relationships has always been there. That's
I
one
think
thing
so,
that
too.
cannot change, right? And so for these young folks or folks that are coming to the conferences, like it's long days.
Very.
The day doesn't end at 5 when the sessions end.
No.
Well,
You know, if I look
let me
back,
ask you
yeah.
this though. When we talk about relationships, like, what do you think makes a great? Like, what are some of the building blocks of making a great relationship within the industry?
Getting to know the person,
100%.
being like, it's never about selling.
It's about,
know?
and it's
It's
also
just
being truthful, and like
truthful.
you have to care, because if
Yeah.
you're faking it, we can all feel it, right?
Yeah.
You can tell someone that's just like, it's a quick, like, I just need to win this account. I don't really care if they like me.
Yeah,
Like,
it's never,
immediately.
It's never been about, like,
No.
get to know the person, get to know a little bit about their life, see what they're up to, like what they like outside of the work stuff.
Right.
And that's something that we focused on a lot. And if I look back today, like most of the conversations that we have with new partners that want to work with us, it's all through referrals, relationships.
Yep.
It's all the connections that we've built and helping people, not because there's something in it for you.
No, I think if you go that route,
Yeah.
you're not going to be successful.
Yeah.
I mean, you could short term, you can be, and I think you and I realized that. Like when we started, it was so amazing and shocking, actually, how many we were getting calls.
Yeah.
We were getting emails,
Yeah.
and it was so exciting because you're like, you don't think about it like that.
Yeah.
Yep.
Especially if you're doing the right thing. If you're working to help others and it's not about like, oh, I need to make money. Like, of course we all have to pay the bills, right? But if you're doing it because you love it,
Yeah.
it doesn't feel like work. Obviously, it is work. We all know
Right.
it's work.
Yeah.
And it does feel like work sometimes. But
How about your story with when you were working with Brad?
my
keep them
first
up?
affiliate job,
Well, getting to know me.
yes, I'll tell that quick story. Especially now that you've told your humiliating story about getting a job for ICE that you didn't
And
have.
being
Yeah.
a professional
Yeah.
Monopoly player.
Yes. So
We should get you a Monopoly hat.
I mean,
Can
now
get
that we know-
and a monocle, maybe.
Well, so at CJU last year, I don't know if you remember, but we had these like fake dollar bills.
You
and
did.
There was like a Monopoly sort of.
Yeah, I
character.
have
Yeah.
them. I brought them home. That was
I want to
hysterical.
get you a monocle and a bowl, like a little bowler's hat type of a thing, with maybe a mustache.
He needs-
or
but
we
he
could
needs
just
the
shave
card.
the beard and just do a mustache.
He needs the Monopoly card on his hat, like you know how Mikey wears
Yeah,
his
on
card
his- on
on
his-
it.
on
That's
his-
what you
on
need
his
with your
hat.
feather. But
Yeah.
so really quick, Dux, I'll
Park
tell.
Place Perez. That's what they call him. Park
How
Place
about we
Perez.
make like an affiliate sort of
Monopoly
edition?
game. That would
An
be
affiliate
so
edition.
cool.
Well, that's a good
Right?
good
Like-
use case for AI. Like we could have Claude. You know what?
Why don't you Claude
I'll do
code it?
Give me 2 weeks.
Yeah.
I will Claude code I'll drop it in the link description for this podcast. I'm gonna make an affiliate Monopoly
And
game.
we
And then
shared
can we
in
have
these
Presh?
groups and
He
stuff?
has to. He's the banker, and his face has to. be in
Presh
the
has to
middle.
be the banker.
Yeah, 100%.
Got the networks in
I'll
there.
do my
you'll have
best.
some-
I don't want to
Yeah.
spend too much. I'll make it
Yeah.
really simple, but yeah.
And then we have to have somebody else that will then.
We have to figure
Jeff
out-
can replicate it and make it a board game.
Yeah,
That's
we'd
what I'll
have to
make
make
him
it
do.
into a real board game.
I
too.
know.
Right?
Well, I'll tell the story really quick. So
So funny.
when I got into the industry, it was very end of 2009, going into 2010, and Brad of Brad's Deals was my boss and wasn't great at explaining affiliate marketing to me. I'd been in the traditional marketing industry, sales, so I was like, I can figure this out. It's fine. He's like, there's one person you need to know. His name is Paresh. Here's his phone number. Call him. And I'm like, okay. He's like, invite him to do something, blah, blah, blah. So I go into my office and I'm like, all right, call Paresh. I'm like introducing myself and he's telling me about his experience. I'm like, oh, this is so great. Would you like to have dinner? I'd love, like, and he's like, when? And I'm like, how about tomorrow? And he's like, well, I can't do tomorrow, Jen, because I live in Canada. And I went, oh, you do? And I didn't understand that affiliate marketing was all online. I had never experienced that. So he was laughing so hard, but he didn't embarrass me on the call. He was so kind. And then I remember once you got to really know me, then it was he just would tell everybody.
It's crazy.
Look,
That
wait,
seems
how
like
are
it
you
was
doing
yesterday.
business with me?
I
It
know.
feels
And
like
yesterday.
and then, Haley and Addison, our twins, like you and Sunny were
Yeah.
so kind
New York
to
City,
them.
Manhattan.
Little girls, they would gave them Disney cards, and my girls will forever be obsessed with the OPM pros guys. Sunny and Presh, where are they?
Yeah, it's crazy to see that they're almost going to be 20.
I know. It's gonna be juniors in college.
See, I
Nice.
look
We
at
need daycare service for this young kids.
Well, my girls are ready. They fly them
at
out.
these affiliate conferences.
Absolutely.
that's actually not a bad idea.
Right? Like, I mean, Maya's been to.
could have, like, a
she
little
was 2
kid
when she
center.
came to the rack.
Well, yeah, but we just take Maya. We just
Yeah.
threw her on her hip. That was
Yeah.
easy.
Yeah, and Kai's been.
But I look
Yeah.
at what you do, Paresh, and also what you do, Jen, too, because you're really good with relationships. But I look at what you do sometimes, and I'm like, how does he do it? Like, after an event on Instagram, you've got selfies with every single person. You
That's been
always
something
send me.
he's always
he
done.
always sends me a detailed text message follow up after every event.
He
I'm like,
sends it to hundreds. That's the insane
I'm
part.
like, how does Paresh do this? Like, where do you? So, what is your secret to being able to maintain relationships with that many people? Does it just energize you? Do
it
people
does.
energize
It really
you?
does. Yeah,
I
people
do think
energize me.
because you and I are very similar in that way. Like, to me, I genuinely love people, and I think you do too, obviously. And I think that part of our brains, it's the natural part of our brains. We're not trying. It's
Yeah,
just,
it just comes naturally.
it fills my cup up. I feel like
100%.
that's the same for you.
For me, yeah.
But you also can stay out till 5 and be productive.
See, that's what I also don't understand.
And I am very good at making people think I'm going to be out till 5.
And then
I
you pull
always,
the David Copperfield.
always.
Like, where'd Jen go?
Yeah.
I Houdini every time. But I remember Mikey said to me, you just have to make a really big impression. And I'll never forget, it was at Omni Club 2010.
Okay.
There's a picture of me, you, Kunal, and Adam Mankoff, who I saw last night. He was my work husband at the time. And I got the picture. And then Mikey was like, get up there. I got up on a pole, I think on did a spin, fell off, which was great. Everyone saw me. Didn't drink at all, but no one knew that. And then said hi to everybody. And then I bolted. And everyone was like, you were a blast last night. And that to me, it stuck. I was like, all I have to do is make sure that I interact with everyone.
Big
Excellent.
You
impression
gotta,
early
you know,
on.
at these events, as we know, there's so much alcohol that goes around.
I can't do
right?
that.
You gotta pace yourself.
Well, I can't even, one drink for me and I'm done.
Yeah.
So I
feel
can
like-
also just fake drink. I'm great at that.
Yeah.
Well, that's another difference between our generation and the younger generation. Like, I quit drinking a while back, but I do think Gen Z and even some younger millennials, they just don't drink as much.
No, my girls don't drink that often at all.
And it used to
Yeah.
be I think in the early 2000s, I think drinking at conferences was
Was
a
the
big,
thing.
was a thing to do.
Yeah.
Do you still feel
I
like
still
that
feel
is the
people
case?
Oh,
still-
there's plenty of
it's not-
people
I
that
mean,
like
there's
to drink
still
still.
people that will drink.
Of course.
I think people have been better, managing their consumption.
Right.
You still see every now and then one or
Yeah,
two
you
people
see
that
us.
are
Yeah.
You see a couple hot messes, but
know,
that
but
wouldn't
you're
be.
not-
It wouldn't be a conference if we didn't have that.
Right.
We
Yeah.
have to have those
But I
stories.
remind people, like, you're not in Vegas with your friends on a
No, it's
No,
work.
birthday party. It's work.
Nope,
you
it's
know,
work.
it's like you represent the company that's sending you here, and so make the most time. You know, like,
Fair, and I think I always knew that about myself. So if I have 2 drinks, I'm already, people think I'm drunk when I'm sober. Let's be clear. You know this. And so I think for me, if I have 2 drinks, I'm going to be a mess. And not like fall down drunk or anything like that, but like I can be sober and seem like I'm having a blast. So that's worked really, really well for me. But alcohol and I just don't get along anyways.
okay, we're-
Yeah.
you gotta know your.
As long as
limits.
you're out and just
Yeah.
having fun and meeting people, I think
Yeah.
that's all that really matters. I do think, like, for me, anyways, when I first got into the industry, I had this misconception that, like, oh, if you get really drunk with people and you stay out late with them, you'll build better relationships.
The drunk part, no. But everything
And
else,
that's
yes.
not the staying, yeah, but I don't think that's true at all. But I do think, like, yeah, it's that's not necessarily the case at all
No.
anymore.
No, and I
feel
feel
like
like for
there's-
you, I've never, ever seen you drunk.
Yeah, I think
You're able
might
to.
have been once.
Maybe.
back in the day.
Yeah, probably.
You know,
maybe
after a
maybe at one of the
Racton
clubs.
event.
But for the most part, you're very
Yeah,
high functioning. You're always talking to everyone. You're always on the move. I'll never forget when
Generally
you gave
losing
me
my voice.
the OPM Pros ice cubes.
Oh, the famous ice cubes.
and then
yes.
the
Glow sticks.
the glow sticks. My girls
I do
lost
like
their
stuff that-
minds.
I do like stuff that
Yeah.
lights up.
Well,
course.
There's one other thing I wanted to ask you. So, obviously, we've got the beautiful Habs jersey on right now.
Yeah, they won last night.
Big deal.
You know,
And-
this is-
But I think one thing that I always synonymize with you is also like bright colors.
Yes.
Is there something?
Look at him. His socks. His shoes.
Do you
his
feel like
shirt.
that's something that like is sort of like your trademark or like?
He's got many
tell me a little more
trademarks.
about your philosophy behind the color. Like the
they're
color
they're.
scheme.
I mean, I just like bright colors.
Yeah, you
So
always
I-
have.
I shop
You
a
can
lot
find
at Psycho
you.
Bunny, which is a brand out of Montreal.
Yes.
Great brand.
Yep.
And these shirts, these funky shirts that I usually have, these are from Au Noir.
Oh.
You know,
Okay.
another brand. And
Yeah.
so I like bright colors and.
Have you ever thought
You
about
know,
it being
just-
an influencer? Because I was thinking about that. Like, I could see he represents all these different companies. Why aren't you
It should
influencing?
be sponsored by the hats. These
Why aren't
hats-
you
Yeah,
sponsored
that
by the
company.
hats?
I mean, you
You
sell-
spent
you
so
sell
much
those hats
money.
all the time.
Did you see his little hat case?
I have a hat box.
He has hat
You need to
boxes.
put these hats.
Well,
in the
yeah,
hat
they would be
box because,
ruined.
Like,
But what I was going to
you
say
know.
about the color scheme thing
Yeah.
is like whether it's conscious or subconscious, I think it's highly effective.
It is.
Like I think it's like really easy to know where you are at any time at any conference.
Well, and I would often people would say, "Hey, have you seen Paresh?" And I'd be like, "Yeah, just look for the orange hat
Yeah.
and the jersey and the bright socks and shoes.
Yep.
They might be lighting up when he walks.
That's right. I do have the leather
Yeah.
shoes. I don't know. It's just you know, when I came into the industry, like it's not like suits and ties,
Thank God.
right? And so
That was so
the
stiff.
jerseys was like
Easy.
great. It was easy, you know.
100%.
And you just got to be comfortable with it.
Yep.
You know, I like my hats. I like the shirts. I like my shoes, the light up shoes.
Yep.
Oh my God, I love the light up shoes. They're the
But yeah, it's
best.
definitely. I think, you know, as I go to more of these events, people do like able to spot you out a lot quicker,
Of course.
right?
Absolutely.
And so when I tell people like I'm not hard to find, just look for the guy in the fedora. You know, like
Yep.
There's
And
there's
so-
usually a little crowd around you. We're getting closer. We're gonna have to kind of wind down.
Sure, yeah.
We so appreciate you.
Yeah, thank you
One,
so
we know
much.
you're not a big podcaster, so we appreciate you taking
is
the
nice,
time
yeah.
on on a morning in Chicago, and
all
you had
good.
just got in last night.
Gone
But
last night, watched the Habs win Game 1.
that's
of the
amazing.
playoffs
And you
in
said
Tampa.
you guys are going to the game 4.
My wife and I are going to Game 4 in Montreal. Yep, it's
Super
on Sunday,
exciting.
so looking
Wow.
forward to that. But yeah, it's been an amazing journey, 20 years, and I've seen what you've done over the years, and Dex, I'm super proud of you guys.
Thank you. I
building
mean,
an
you've been
agency to help
incredibly helpful to us,
publishers
so
and,
we appreciate you.
The space is evolving, you know, and I think as we continue to build these relationships, have these relationships, we can all help each other.
Absolutely.
But it's nice to be here and seeing what you guys are doing and sharing a little bit of my story for those that don't know. But yeah,
I was going to say only a few that
And
don't
if,
know.
and if people want to work with you, brands on the brand side,
yeah,
tell us a little bit more about like how they can get in touch with you and Gen 3 and
yeah.
maybe
I mean,
some
look,
of the newer stuff you guys are rolling out.
yeah, I think from, you know, we're there to help brands manage the affiliate program, just like you guys are. You know, a lot of the companies don't have resources,
Right.
and they sort of leave the affiliate programs on autopilot, working with top 3, 4, and so, you know, they could reach out to us, find me on LinkedIn, send me a note, and I'll connect them with, people on the sales team. But yeah, just, any brand that wants to see what we're doing and how we're doing things and the different things that we're doing for our clients, traditional affiliate, PPR, influencer, we're connecting the dots on a lot of those things.
Yeah.
And so we're an option, you have the networks doing their things, you have other agencies. I mean, there's a lot of agencies today. There's also the big traditional agencies, so
yeah, there's a ton
you got to
of them.
connect with folks that, want to help you build your business and be a part of that journey. But yeah, there's a lot of great, exciting things happening at the Gen Free.
And you have a great team. You have Nikki, who I just absolutely adore. You guys are very good at follow up and follow through.
Yeah,
which is a big
we have
deal.
a very solid team, and folks that have been with us for a long time. We just hired Chris Samenta.
I know,
VP
that's
of
awesome.
Analytics.
And
Harvey's
Alex
joined. Alex Cirillo is on our team now.
He was at Rakuten for many, many years, so that's exciting
we have
to see.
a lot of strategic people, and Mike and Andy, the founders of Gen 3. It's been great partnering with these guys over the years,
and Jarrett Embry, who's been there for 20 plus
almost
years,
19, 20 years. So, there's a lot of relationships and knowledge that have been built.
It's awesome.
But yeah,
well, thank you so much for joining us at Hi There Podcast.
Yes, hi there.
We appreciate it.
Thank you so much.
Awesome.
Thank you, Paresh.
Thank you, Dax.
Right.
Yep.
Perfect. 10:52.
Awesome. Did it?
You did great.
Awesome.
You're all natural.
I love the opening though. That's gonna be my favorite part. I can't wait.
It's always me. I'm telling you,